Hey smokers, not Draga1 here, and today we're doing something even more deranged than last time, somehow. So this video is going to be a tad different from what I normally make, because instead of this being a tutorial, or Dollar Tree Crazy Kids Tech Misadventures, this is a showcase thing, sorta. The reason for that is because there actually wasn't that much installation on my part, because David actually built this image for us. Do I look like I know how to install Gentoo? Okay, bad question, I don't. Dead smooth brain, yeah, anyways. So all I really did in preparation for this was add some cool packages and get it working 99.5% with this hardware specifically. Because it's Gentoo, well, okay, I got it working well enough anyway. Which might be part of the reason why this video's coming out so late. I also might have written some Neko fanfics. No, you can't read them. Anyways, it's well about time we got into this, so get some popcorn and get ready for subpar editing, because I'm Snoopy and this is WindowsG Extras.
Pop this piece of crap in, expecting Roblox, and what do you get? Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm maidenless, how could you tell? Now some of you might be wondering, hey wait a minute, isn't this basically the same shit you did last time? Are you really this desperate for ideas? And the answer to that question is yes, but this is different. Now, there is a lot of differences between Gentoo and Alpine, but one of the big ones, when you install or emerge a package, it doesn't get a precompiled binary from a server. Instead, it gets the source code and builds it for your processor. Now, if you have like a more powerful CPU, like, I don't know, a Ryzen, whatever the fuck, and you do that on there, this doesn't really make that big of a difference to you. But since we're running an i5-86 Intel Pentium, that means that shit works, like, really well. I mean, it runs like ass, don't get me wrong, but it runs, period. Not only does that mean that we can run more because it's actually tailored for the CPU, it also means we can run the most uppest-to-datest, literally bleeding edge kernel. Excuse me for a moment. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Now we're running the latest kernel. As of right now, this very moment. Another one will probably release in the time it takes me to upload this, so... Okay, now where was I? Okay, so let's have a look at what this can actually do. Of course, it can already accomplish everything that we did with Alpine, pretty much, so, let's see, htop, for instance. Here we have htop running on the Pentium. I can't tell for sure if it's, like, actually running any better, but it is definitely running. Oh, we can run uwufetch. That works. Just like that, as we can see, 30 megabytes, 3D Voodoo 3 on the Linux 6.0 release candidate 6 kernel on i5-86. And we still have that shit-ass Wi-Fi adapter, so we can use links to visit google.com. So that's cool. We can also visit 2beta2t.net, which might render a little bit better. Okay, well, that might have been a bit of a stretch, but it does sort of work. Yeah, it's definitely not bad. You can tell what's going on, not that you can, like, play Minecraft on here or anything. You can load my website. Oh, well, Okay, well, that was weird. I was gonna be worried there for a second. I was like, wait a minute, am I gonna have to go and fix that? But yeah, my website works. You know, that all works and stuff. But there is one thing that works a whole lot better. Well, yes, NsCDE did run, and it did work. It didn't have the bar at the bottom, and there were a couple of comments, or just one, I don't remember, telling me that the bar at the bottom didn't load, and the reason for that is because that wouldn't compile under Alpine. But it did on here, which means I can run start X. It takes a hell of a lot longer to load. Not sure why, but it does. Oh god. Oh hey, there we go, there's more of it. Still, oh my god, it's done. So the bar isn't at the right place right now, but if you just click on it, it goes where it should. And there we go, we're now running NsCDE on Gentoo on a Pentium 133. Load NeoFetch in here. And there we go, Gentoo Linux, i5-86 on the latest release candidate kernel. Using Xterm on FVWM with a 3D Voodoo 3. Now, as you might notice, well, yes, I did get the desktop environment working. I still don't have graphics drivers, so it kinda does that. Yeah, it's not supposed to do that. I tried compiling in support for the 3dfx Voodoo 3 like 4 times, but each time it just made it worse. Now, after that you might think, wait, why don't you just use like the Riva TNT2, or the ATI 9200ME with the fuck cooler, or the 980 XGL? And the answer is, I did! I couldn't get any of these to work either! In fact, after trying to compile in NoView drivers for this card, I tried to boot it. After a certain point, the screen would just go blank with any NVIDIA card installed. It was so weird. I still do wonder what this would be like if I had functioning graphics drivers, because it is possible. Unlike last time, I didn't have any loading problems. But I mean, it still works though, if a bit slowly. Now, this is actually significantly slower than it was on Alpine, and I'm pretty sure the reason for that was just because of this thing right here, because the bar is working now. It wasn't last time. It's pooling to see what the memory is like, and it's updating the screen every once in a while. Actually, CPU usage doesn't look that bad until I actually do something. It's weird. So now for something that does work. So I just gotta open up a terminal. It's in another one. Look at the CPU fucking catch on fire. Now if we ls in this directory, we should see there is a folder called Catboys. We're going to cd into the Catboy folder. And now we have some images. And now we're going to use a tool called FEH that should allow us to view the images. So let's start with aw1.png. Oh, oops, spelled it wrong. Bet you've never seen a computer take this long to load an image, and there we go! An image on NsCDE, on Gentoo, on a 133 MHz Intel Pentium. Normal image, as you can see, the transparency is working correctly. That's what that is there, because it is a PNG. Now we can load another image. For instance, we can load Uwu. This one is significantly larger. There we go. Nice. Sadly, it doesn't work with GIF images though, so if we try and load tail.gif, this is actually an animation, but FEH doesn't support GIF images for some reason, so it's just an image. But still though, that's really cool. But anyways, that's enough playing with binaries that I cross-compiled for this CPU. I bet you want to see me make this thing suffer. And have I got the idea for that? Just gotta wait for it to exit. So we have used the internet, we have viewed images, but next, it seems right that we play a sound. And for that, we're going to add a package called MOC, or Music on Console, that should allow us to play audio. But I'm not going to cross-compile it on the T420 this time. We are going to emerge this package on the Pentium 133. Since we have internet, it should work. So we just got to emerge --ask MOC. And now it'll search for dependencies and get ready to install. Since I passed ask, it should ask us before downloading and compiling the package, so that we can make sure it doesn't have like 3,000 dependencies and will take till 2032 to finish compiling, so. Okay, so there we go. So now it's calculating the dependencies, which I guess will take a while. This is instantaneous on the T420, which has a 2nd gen Intel i3, but that is a smidge faster than this Pentium 133, so, you know. Oh my god, it's done! So we need 2 packages to install MOC, and that is probably going to take an extremely long time. But, again, you're curious, I'm curious, how long is this going to take? Is it going to take a day? Is it going to take a week? Is it going to take 4 hours? So, it's going to answer yes. So the first thing it's going to do is do that. And it's going to run date again. And now it's going to download the files, and it's going to start doing this. I guess we'll see how this goes. It's going to do that. I don't know if it's going to keep working for long enough. Okay, it's the next day, and it looks to have compiled. So I ran date a couple of times. It didn't take, you know, the full fucking day to compile. I think that's when, yeah, it's when the DB package was done, which was about 3 hours. And then it took to about 3 hours later when that was done. So, like, a little bit more than 6 hours? that's not too bad. So now with it installed, we can run mock, and hopefully, Wrong show, no crap. Okay, so now, I love how this part takes like 5 minutes. Get all this shit out of the way. And now, are you Oh. We need a sound card. Nice, gotta hope it fucking works. Don't worry, guys, I got this. Well, that's a good start. It's not on fire. Yay. Oh yeah, I don't think I mentioned I did that. Thank fuck. Okay, so now we just need to add some audio. You know, it's funny, I don't think I've actually ever seen a floppy disk get mounted in Linux before. What is in the endme folder? Okay, nothing. So we'll mount the floppy disk in there. Mount -t auto /dev/fd0/mnt/endme, and this should mount the floppy disk. Or at least it should have. Damn it! I guess auto doesn't work. Let's try MS-DOS. And there's our folder. So now I just need to copy this folder. Can't have two folders with the same name, so that cat boys, right? Only healthy floppy disk noises around here. Oh god. Okay, maybe this floppy disk is bad. Well, I guess I'm doing that again. Hey, wait a minute. Instead of that, why don't we run it in here? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I need to connect a speaker. Where the fuck is... Oh, ow.
Auxiliary cable connected.
Shut up. So this should be badapple.mp3. And I need to turn up the volume. Well, that's a little fucky. Seek failed. Okay. Maybe this floppy is bad. So anyways, I'm gonna put in a new floppy and, whoa, okay, that time it worked. So, come over to here, CD, C into E cat boys, and now we have our files. And that inside of it. I don't know how that got in there, but okay. So now we should be able to run it in MOCP. Now with any luck, if I click on this, nice. So we are now playing audio through the console on Gentoo on a Pentium 133 through a Sound Blaster Live, but still. So a couple compromises had to be made in order to get it to fit on the floppy disk, but it does play, so that's cool. I wonder if it... Now to see if it can play the MIDI. I built it with MIDI support. I don't know if it'll actually work. Nice. It fucking works. Okay, that's cool. And as we can see, ID3 tags are reading as well. So we can listen to fucking bathtub mode, rules of nature. And a weird thing about MOCP is that it works in a server. So I can actually play an MP3 and actually use the current console. And if I want to go back to it, I just open it up again. So that does make me wonder, how much CPU is that using? I take it quite a lot. Oh wow. Okay, so how is that mathematically possible? Okay, sure. I don't know how that adds up, but I guess that makes sense. Well, that's really cool. It works with fucking MIDI too. Let's do something intensive. So let's go to slash and run NsCDE. it's keeping up. It's fucking keeping up. It's scanning the hard disk, but also playing the MP3. It's not skipping, it's not slowed down. Oh, I bet if I played the MIDI, that would be different, though. Okay, so now we're loading Camel by Camel, which is playing through Timidity. That might actually be faster. Okay. Oh, there we go. Now it's starting to not play so well. Still though, this is really impressive. Not only can it play, it's like it can play mostly okay while I'm doing other things. For the most part, sort of, almost. So at this point you're probably wondering, wait a minute, how the fuck did you get that working and what was wrong with it? The answer to that is the e-build is just completely fucking broken. I don't know what's wrong with it. Even after emerging the audio plugins, or codecs essentially, and then emerging it again, like actually unemerging and then re-emerging MOC, it still wouldn't pick up the plugins. So instead what I did is I built it manually, and then it picked up the plugins. So I needed to add ALSA for sound card control and volume control, and then I also added Timidity and also something else for MP3 playback, and then I built it again, and it picked it up when it did the config, and it worked. I don't get why it didn't work in the e-build. In fact, even after adding the packages for MP3 and MIDI playback, it still wouldn't pick it up in the e-build. I don't get why. Oh, and by the way, recompiling MOCP on the ThinkPad T420 took like less than 30 seconds. I couldn't get up from my chair in the time it took to finish compiling. So I guess the past 30 years, a couple of advancements have been made in processing. Anyways, before we end this off, I want to try one more thing. Sure, it can play MIDI. Sure, it can run NsCDE. Sure, it can run htop. But can it do it all at once? I really don't see this going well. So now that we're booted in, I'm going to launch our first terminal, and in it we're going to open MOCP. See if we can get it to lag finally. Well, that's not exactly a good sign. Okay, that seems to be running fine so far. So now we can open htop. We have to see, oh, there it is, okay. So now we have this terminal, I'm going to open htop. Oh, there we go. Okay, htop is loaded, and we are using all of the CPU and like half of the RAM. Load up another terminal. So just for fun, and since it'll give us more window updates, let's open BIBU. So in here we'll have a terminal multiplexer, in here we'll have htop, and in here we'll have MOCP. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, okay. At least I'm pretty sure BIBU will run in it. Okay, there we go. So now it's loaded, or at least most of the way loaded. Let's try running uwufetch in here. Oh, there we go, there's the status indicators. So now, if we run that in there, I didn't spell it right, so uwufetch is running here again with BIBU, htop is running in here, and that is playing Camel by Camel. And it's running at all inside of NsCDE, on a Pentium 133 on Gentoo, running the latest Linux 6 kernel. Okay, so now uwufetch is done. As we can see, that loaded just fine. So now let's display an image, because why the hell not? So now we're loading an image at the same time. It's using 100% of the CPU, but can it still keep up? The MIDI is skipping a little bit, but not as bad as when we were loading... Okay, well, nearly as bad as when we were loading the terminal multiplexer. There we go, and there's our image. And now that it's fully loaded, it's still slow. I don't think it's actively redrawing this, is it? That's weird. I'd expect it to get faster. That's really weird, but still, this is all sort of running. I don't know where my mouse cursor went. Oh, it's right there. Okay. So we have this running. It should not be updating. We have this under it, which has htop running, which is constantly updating. We have this terminal multiplexer, which is constantly running. And we have this, which is playing a MIDI in the background. And it is still working. It hasn't completely locked up yet. That's fascinating. Huh. Let's just pause this. Good God. Where's my mouse cursor? Is our CPU usage going to return back to normal? Or is the terminal multiplexer really that resource intensive? I am surprised. Huh. Okay. Weird. It's not leaving 100%. It appears to be mostly due to Python, which is part of NsCDE, I believe. Interesting. Oh no, wait. There we go. It's all tmux. Huh. Weird. Anyways, I believe that brings this project to a close. Huge thank you to David Phantom for installing Gentoo and building this image, basically making this video possible. And this ThinkPad T420 that spat magma for 12 hours and nearly melted a divot in the table. And thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and remember to rate, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for next week where we install Linux on a fucking calculator. Well, at least it finished downloading it. That is a start. Yeah, I'm maidenless. How could you tell? Or am I the maiden? More news at 5. I should note it hasn't even started building it yet. The Coppermine Pentium 3 and the Deschutes Pentium 2 have the same graphic. They do not look the same on the inside. I wonder what CPU that actually is then if it's not that one.